Welcome back to the channel. In today's review, we're going to be talking about the notorious landing page builder, Unbounce. But before we get into the actual review, let's first talk about landing pages, the benefits, and whether or not they would be right for you. Key intro. So, there are a couple different benefits to having landing pages. I would suggest to you that if you're paying for traffic, then you absolutely need a landing page builder. The biggest benefit you're going to get from having a landing page builder is relevancy. Relevancy shouldn't be overlooked. It's what allowed Google to dominate search. Think about it. Before we get into any of the conversion fundamentals, if you're serving someone a web page that's not relevant to their search query, then you don't even have a chance of converting them into an email opt-in, lead, or a sale. Let's say you're at home cooking lasagna and you have a certain amount of time, but you have to run over to the grocery store to get more cheese. Let's say you run into the grocery store, the doors open wide, you look down the aisle, and you just see a elongated giant aisle with 4 people acting as obstacles, and you look to your right and you see the tall numbers down the aisles, and you just see 22, and you're just thinking to yourself, man, I'm in big trouble, I need to find the cheese aisle, I'm lost. Now think about when you enter the grocery store and the doors open wide and you just see a big green flashing arrow that says cheese aisle 4, and you walk down aisle 4, and as you turn left you just see this giant section carved out with also flashing strobe lights around it, and it's all the different types of cheeses. Now these scenarios represent a similar consumer experience on your website and a landing page. The website would be equivalent to a consumer walking into a grocery store, not knowing which aisle to go down, not knowing where to turn, having no idea where they need to look for the solution that they need at the time. And the second scenario represents the consumer experience if you were to use a landing page. You're able to offer your customers a better experience because you can make changes very quickly and shape your campaigns directly around the problems that they have. And that brings us to our second benefit, the ability to make changes very quickly. Before I had landing pages, I would hire a designer, hire a copywriter, then the back and forth process would take a few weeks. Once I approved the final design and copy, I would send it over to the developer would build it out, and then a month later we'd figure that it's time to move on and try something else. So we'd have to do the whole process over again until we found one that finally worked. With landing pages like Unbounce, you can make those changes very quickly and move on and keep trying new stuff. And that brings us to our third benefit, which is A/B testing. Marketing is a big experiment, and it's going to continue to go on forever. When you find a campaign that's profitable, you're going to continue making tweaks to see just how profitable it can be. So I'm not sure if all landing page builders offer A/B testing. I know a lot of them do, and I know Unbounce certainly does. When I was in the market looking for a landing page builder, my two biggest concerns were, is it going to deliver on my expectations of being able to convert my paid traffic into customers, leads, or opt-ins, depending on, our marketing objectives? And then my second biggest concern was, what does a learning curve look like for the software? Sometimes softwares offer extremely dynamic tools, but with that comes a huge learning curve that might require a few days, weeks, or even months to master. So to address my concerns now, I would say the landing page builder is extremely easy to use. It took me about maybe 1 full working day, and I almost had my first landing page completely built. By the second day, it was completed and our campaign was up and running. So if you're thinking about trying it but you're hesitant on, am I going to be able to learn the features really quick? I would say, yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. Dedicate at least maybe 4 hours if you're a fast learner, 6 to 8 hours if you're on the slower side. But the core tools that they use are extremely easy to use, and it's just very intuitive. So I think you'll have no problem picking those up rather quickly. My personal favorite feature might sound almost kind of silly, but it really is the drag and drop editor. I know a lot of softwares claim to have drag and drop editors, but a lot of their drag and drop tools are like, you drag it onto the screen and it positions it in like a box or a section, and that's always nice, but then you're kind of limited and you have to go back and make adjustments to the images to be able to fit just right, where Unbounce's drag and drop editor is exact placement, so you can drag stuff over like a centimeter or millimeter. My second favorite feature is going to be the A/B testing. What this is going to allow you to do is take one landing page, duplicate it into a second landing page, also known as a variant. You can make minor adjustments or major adjustments, and then you can split the traffic evenly, 50-50, and see which one performs better after, a month or a certain amount of visits. Another feature that I really enjoy is the cloning tool. And like we just discussed, it's the ability to take variants and landing pages and duplicate them so you can make adjustments and even transfer them to other landing pages. With that tool, it saved me a ton of time. And a new feature that just came out is going to be Unbounce's smart traffic. And what this is very similar to Google's responsive search ad, in a sense where it takes some of the elements from a user search query and matches them up with the best suited variant for that consumer. I can't speak much on the technical side of that feature, but I can tell you that I've heard of users seeing an uplift of 20% in their conversion rates, which just blows my mind. And my last but not least favorite feature of Unbounce is going to be the dynamic text replacement. And going back to what we talked about earlier in Relevancy, dynamic text replacement is really going to be another feature that Unbounce allows you to use to make your landing pages hyper relevant. And to dive a little deeper into this feature, I'm going to take you over to a brief visual example just so I can show you just how effective this tool can be in terms of relevancy. Before we get into the dynamic text replacement, I just wanted to touch briefly on the different domain options that you have within Unbounce. So as you know, you probably have a website. Let's just call it yourwebsite.com for now. With Unbounce, you can have a dedicated domain directly for your landing pages, such as yourwebpages.com, or you can add a prefix to your website, such as buy.yourwebsite.com or offer.yourwebsite.com or info. You can pretty much add any prefix you want. And you can also set up cross-domain tracking so that your analytics get recorded just like your website would. So let's say that you have an e-commerce store that sells cookies, and you set up your landing page so that you're able to offer cookies in a very general way. Let's say you write a description about the different ingredients you have and some information on how to bake cookies. Now, let's say a user is searching specifically for oatmeal cookies. Well, you can set up a simple tracking code in your Google Ads so that when the keyword oatmeal is detected, your landing page copy changes the title of your landing page to oatmeal cookies in specific. You can even take it a step further and change the text in the landing page, so instead of writing about baking cookies, you can write about baking oatmeal cookies and have that hyper relevancy so that people have a better experience on your landing pages. If you're thinking about trying out Unbounce, go ahead and use my affiliate link down below, and you can save 20% off your first 3 months. So yeah, check it out. If you like it, let me know in the comments below. If you hate it, let me know in the comments below. And go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell down below, and we'll see you in the next one.